right, good Friday morning. Welcome to the WLBB Community Voice on News Talk 1330, FM 106.3, streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. And this morning we are on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. Good morning to you out in Facebook land. Thanks for joining us this morning. My guest is the Superintendent of Schools for the Carrollton City Schools District. His name is Dr. Mark Albertus, and he's braved the terrible weather out there this morning to join us. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Carrollton City Schools, first day of school is this coming Monday.
Monday, yes, sir.
How many students enrolled in the whole district right now, or do you see being enrolled in the district? And then break those up because there's 4 different schools, right?
Right. So we've got over 5,500 students, and it's growing every day. Folks are enrolling and kind of getting their situation squared away. But We've had steady growth over the last several years, but the projections are we'll continue to have 3 to 4% growth every year. So our schools are all on one campus there, and they're all Trojans, and so we've got large numbers when you compare them to other schools, but we really work hard. Our administrators and our teachers work hard to make bigger schools small.
You say with large numbers as far as class size?
No, just as far as total school numbers. But class size, our school board has done a great job of really being attentive to the number of kids in each class, and so we're proud that we make what some might perceive as a big school, we make it small because of class size. And so that's where it happens, is in the classroom, especially at the lower grades when you're talking about those kids are supervised 100% of the time by their teacher. And when you have smaller class size, it's a proven fact that it's better for the students, and it's better for the teachers, more individualized instruction.
So what are the sizes, average size for starting at the pre-K?
Yeah, we really try to focus on the pre-K and kindergarten, 15 kids, at or around 15 kids. And then it ticks up a little bit as you get into first, second, and third grade, toward the 20s and 20, 22 and whatnot. And then we really try hard in the middle grades and high school to keep it, under 30, kind of thing. Different courses, different classes, smaller. PE class, bigger, because the amount of space in the gym and whatnot, and being able to move around and stuff. But we try hard to, and every school system does a good job of trying to keep that teacher-student ratio smaller as much as they possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Mark Albertus, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program. Any new policies in place, or parking or driving things that, we could talk about, the first couple of days, how that'll be for, working out the drivers, but any new policies that students and parents or teachers need to be aware of this year?
Well, what the biggest change is that we've switched to schools, and we have some new grade configurations. We're really excited about that. What used to be our upper elementary is now our middle school, and that's up on the hill. It's kind of between our elementary school and our upper elementary, and that's our middle school. And that's grades 6, 7, and 8. And then down below it, what used to be called our Carrollton Junior High School is now upper elementary, and that's grades 4 and 5. And so we're really excited about that. Ms. Tabitha Walker, who used to be an administrator and teacher for us, and she went and was a principal in Fayette County for several years. She's now come back to take our upper elementary school. She's a great leader, great lady. And then our middle school is one of Carrollton's own, is Mr. Eric Simmons, and he has proven to be a great young leader for not only us, but also the community. He's really involved with the community and community leadership. So he's taking on grades 6, 7, and 8, that middle grades. And I say all that to say that first couple of days, I always, kind of tell everybody, let the traffic shake out. Everybody has to get in their groove, and when they're going to leave and where they're going to drop off and whatnot. Some parents want to drop off the first couple of days, and then they'll put their their students on the buses and whatnot. And so just everybody work with me, stay with me, and we'll get through this first couple days, and it'll shake out, and everybody will get in their routine, and it'll really work like clockwork.
Because I mean that traffic could go out to 27, Highway 27, and affect 27 for those first couple days too.
Yes, sir. The city works with us on that, and the Department of Transportation, everything with the lights at the bypass and over on 27, and we really work with everybody, the traffic officers and our SROs, one and the same. They're all Carrollton police officers, so they just work tremendously together to get the flow and the lights and everything down. Everybody just kind of getting it off to a good start, and I appreciate our parents understanding.
There is one traffic officer who's become a star over the years, a young lady. Is she still going to be there?
Oh, yeah, the whole crew. That we really appreciate them. Wind, rain, heat, they're always out there in the dark and then in the afternoon. And so many of them are just passionate about doing it, and they love it. And they love to greet all of our folks, parents and students coming on campus. And, we really appreciate their passion for the job.
As far as changing the schools, what was behind that? Was that because, space? Was it just a better use of the space?
Yeah, definitely the space. We have we were kind of running out of space at the junior high, so we did a lot of renovations to it this summer, and then we having the younger kids, grades 4 and 5, and only having 4 and 5 and doing some renovations, we were able to put 6, 7, and 8 up at the upper, and then probably within the next 2-3 years we'll probably build another wing, another addition up there for the middle school, and that'll really give them enough space. We have enough space for all classes right now, but to give us a little bit of extra room and whatnot, we'll probably build another wing. So it's good, and the classrooms are a little bit bigger up at the middle school. The building's considerably newer as far as the age on it, and so bigger classrooms because the standard size for classrooms through the years continues to increase, and so it's a good fit. It's a good fit to have the bigger kids up on the hill there.
Time right now is 8:38. Gonna get one more question in before the break. You talked about the growth, the growth you expect every year. How much of that is Carrollton inside the city limits, and how many are coming from out of district?
Yeah, definitely. We hover around. We really try hard to keep it at anywhere between 28 and 30% non-residents. That we try to keep
so
that balance. Yes, but there is growth both in the city and the county, and there are parents that live in the county and beyond in other counties as well, and that choose to want to try to bring their kids to Carrollton. But the city is definitely growing, as we all know, and so we're going to serve all kids and welcome them, and I just appreciate our Board of Education. They really focus on long range and the long range target and preparing for the future and looking at the growth models and stuff and just being prepared.
I remember living in Fairfield, there's a lot of Fairfield families that would bring their kid to Carrollton City Schools, and I know there's some concern or questions from parents who do live in the city limits. Are they, because they're not paying the city taxes, but is there something else they have to do to come to the school?
Yeah, they pay a non-resident fee, and we have it broken out for a single child, and then families, we have the pay kind of rates, and they pay non-resident income, and it's one of those things where it's always been where folks can bring their kids to Carrollton City Schools. They have to make sure that they adhere to attendance and discipline and academic standards.
Did you watch those more closely then, if they're?
Yes, sir. Yeah, and it's not a zero tolerance or anything not achievable, but it's they just got to continue to be good students and row in the same direction everybody else is, and they can continue to go to Carrollton City Schools. And so it's always been a good mix, a good balance, non-residents and residents.
Time right now is 8:40. We're talking with Carrollton City Schools Superintendent Dr. Mark Albertus. Questions and comments, please post those to the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page, and I'll take a look at those during our first break. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy.
Oak Mountain Academy is an innovative school of academic excellence celebrating over 61 years. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to join us on the mountain to see our mission and vision in action. Academic excellence, a faith-based environment, and dynamic opportunities are just a few of the reasons our families choose Oak Mountain Academy. Academic scholarships and tuition assistance are available. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
41. Welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice, News Talk 1330 FM 106.3 this morning on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. Good morning to those of you checking in. Doyle Akins, our good buddy, is checking in this morning. Always glad to see his name go across the Facebook there when he is checking in. My guest this morning, Superintendent of Schools for the Carrollton City Schools District, Dr. Mark Albertus. On, was it earlier this week, Carrollton City Schools approved maintaining the millage rate. That does equate to a tax increase for property owners. I guess you guys, you haven't rolled back, or you haven't raised the millage rate, I'll say, for several years. But when the tax digest goes up, that does equate, when you maintain it, it does equate to a tax increase. How much additional money does the school system expect to generate this year by maintaining the millage rate?
Yes, sir. I just appreciate our community understanding that, earlier in the segment we talked about how the growth of the city, growth of the school system. And so I appreciate that I'm understanding that when the digest increases, that growth, that helps with the growth with the students and then facilities and everything else. When we talk about the millage rate increase, I talk about it in terms of our school board has done a great job of trying to tick up our local supplement. And what that means is that's the supplement that we add to what the state gives us for teacher salaries. And so we were really behind many of the school systems around not only West Georgia area but around the Metro Atlanta area. And over the last several years, our school board has ticked that up. Now, when we tick that up, that incurs about $1 million worth of. Every time you go up a percentage, it goes up about $1 million for us. And so, when you're talking about tax digest, when the tax digest increases, then we're trying hard to make sure that we can not only pass that along to our teachers and all of our employees to stay competitive, because we've got to make sure we take care of our employees. We have great employees, and we need to be competitive so that we not only can keep our teachers, but we can also recruit good teachers to come work for us. There is no question, it's factual, there is a teacher shortage in the state of Georgia. You can go on many websites right now, and schools already started, and many school systems are desperately looking for teachers. And so we're blessed in the West Georgia area that we are fully staffed, and fully staffed means even in the critical areas, math and science and special ed, we're very blessed. So very much a priority for our school board is to make sure that we maintain competitiveness as far as paying our teachers and all of our employees, because we're fully staffed with bus drivers, and there are vacancies all over the place with bus drivers and getting kids to school. So it will probably be about either between $2 and $2.5 million increase.
Additional. What's that result? What's that come out of, like, per maybe $100,000 home or $300,000 home? How much additional is that going to be for the average homeowner for the next year?
Yeah, I think you're talking anywhere between $200 and $300 over a course of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the importance of, making sure we got enough money to pay those teachers and pay those school employees, I mean, is it? And I don't want to say the wrong thing here, but when there's other jobs out there, other positions that aren't being fulfilled, for whatever reason, there's also jobs everywhere to where people need to fill them, but they can't. They don't have that access to the pool of money from from taxpayers. I mean, do you feel comfortable saying that? Like, we need to keep these guys. I mean, it kind of suggests that would be more important than the other ones, and maybe you think it is more important than the other jobs out there.
Well, I'll answer that by saying that I think the future is in our youth, in our kids, and I think it's so critical to have a great staff, very competent, passionate educators to make sure that they take care of our kids in this community and make sure that they're prepared to go on to be well-adjusted adults. And that's what all of our schools in this area, focus on that and do a really good job with that. And then as far as the public sector, I would also make a case that we need to be hypersensitive to maintaining great competitive pay with our public safety officials. I mean, there's no doubt that there are positions that need to be filled within our police departments, our sheriff department, our prison, our jail, and we need to make sure that when we're talking about the digest increasing, we need to be careful of when we forgo the money that could go toward public safety officials and make sure that we're competitive and we're not losing public safety officials to other counties, other municipalities, and whatnot. Because we enjoy great services, we enjoy great school systems and everything, but it does take money, and it's 2023. People are not afraid to drive, and they're not afraid to go and work somewhere else for not that much more pay.
You've given me a good question to talk to about the Carroll County government when they discussed their millage rate. The one thing I do want to point out, though, when I try to balance all the information about, when you guys maintain the millage rate or roll it back and go forward,
Yes,
I mean, the one thing I do want to point out, and I guess I want to find out specifics on this, when our tax digest goes up, the state government will give the school systems less money, right? What was that difference? I mean, when our tax digest goes up, how much less does the state give you?
It's a percentage, and they look at it, and it's delayed from year to year.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about, they look at across the board, they look at all of the different municipalities, and so and it's a equalization kind of
and that's the term, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And so obviously all around the state there are different communities that have higher tax base than others, and so there are some that are really struggling, and then there are others that are flush with the money that they need. Mm-hmm. So we're really blessed here in West Georgia. We have very, very supportive community, a healthy community, and so with that, our school board is very, very fiscally conservative, and they do a good job with the money, and so I think it's a good combination. We will receive less money going forward when our digest goes up, and it's part of that we just have to balance it all.
Do you know the difference between the money that they sent? Well, if it's 2 years down the road, right? But it's kind of right. Do you know the difference between the money from last year to this year?
It's I don't want to say the wrong percentage.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the wrong percentage.
All right, Dr. Mark Albertus, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program. Before we do take our second break, there was something I kind of talked with you a bit about the show, before the show. I mean, you guys have a unique talent on the football team this year, somebody who's recognized nationwide. And he's a high school student. He was a freshman last year and was already getting national attention. Is there a different way that the school system treats him, or aware of all the outside forces they're going to get to him? What have your discussions been with maybe him and his family, and other students too? Other students recognize him and know he's right now potentially to be a big star, and everybody wants to be part of that and know what's going on with him.
Yeah, Julian Lewis, great young man, and his family is strong family. His mom and dad have been very much there with him, his sisters and whatnot, and so good nucleus there. Really strong guidance from his family. And we're fortunate he's a humble, hardworking young guy, but he has run into a lot of acclaim very early. He's very much a talent. He's a high-level elite athlete. And so with that comes there's a lot of pressure on him. There's a lot of expectations. So he does a really good job of handling it. His parents do a great job as well. We're trying to support them, trying to support him, along with Coach King and the football team. Coach King has done a good job. Coach King has had experience with high-level athletes, elite athletes, and so just trying to make sure that he has a sanctuary when he comes to the school and when he comes to the football program, the field house, and that all those outside factors that want his time and attention and whatever, that he feels comfortable there, and that our coaches and our administrators and then his friends and classmates try as much as possible to insulate him. He is very recognizable as far as kids in the community and in Atlanta, and
he's got great hair.
Great hair, and again, the way he goes about his business, he's a humble kid. He's not a loudmouth. He's not arrogant. So that even attracts more people because they appreciate the way he goes about his business. So we're trying to support him as much as possible. And when you're talking about an elite athlete now with social media and everything, he can become, or he or she, an elite athlete can become a national or worldwide sensation with our social media nowadays, and he very much has become that. I mean, last season we had several different people from all over the country coming to our games, because they wanted to basically link up with him and associate with him and whatnot. That's a great thing, but it also creates challenges for our team to make sure that he's not
overshadowing him.
That's
I
right.
want him to have the same school experience.
Right.
There's a documentary group that's planning to come out. Are they following him in school, or are they just following him during the football season as far as the actual games?
Both, and they've been really good to work with, and they have done a good job. They're trying to chronicle his growing up, but also taking on all this, all these stressors.
And I think that is kind of valuable. I think that's a valuable thing to have, to see what he's going through in high school if they do it right.
Yes, sir, and that's what they're going for, and to kind of go with him through it. And he had such an amazing freshman year, and then one of the things that they were filming last week was they were at the orthodontist office with him, and he got his braces off, and here you got a kid who's really being treated like an adult in so many ways by these suitors and different people that want to attach themselves with him and his brand, and he's getting his braces off, so that kind of parallel kind of childhood and growing up, teenage, and trying to be a high school kid, but also having these pressures of elite athlete status.
Dr. Mark Albertus, the Superintendent of Schools for the Carrollton City Schools District, our guest on this morning's Community Voice. Time right now is 8:54. We'll come back with about 5 minutes. So again, if you have any questions or comments, post those to the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. Otherwise, I'll just make some more stuff up. So come back in 1 minute. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System, Oak Mountain Academy.
The AP Scholar Journey at Oak Mountain Academy is designed to provide students with a clearly defined advanced placement curriculum track to earn a series of distinctions upon graduation. This journey enables academically prepared students to pursue college-level studies throughout 17 AP courses in 5 subject categories while enrolled at OMA. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us on the mountain. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
8:55. Welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. Got about 5 minutes left in our program this morning. My name is Colin Worthington, by the way. Our guest this morning is Dr. Mark Albertus. He is the Superintendent of Schools for Carrollton City. Either last week or the week before, Milestones, Georgia Department of Education released the Milestones results, end of class, end of year testing.
Yes, sir.
The summary, I mean, I did it. There was something glaring to me in there that I didn't think was too good. But as far as your summary of all the grades, and what did you learn from this year compared to last year?
Yes, sir. Well, I'll tell you what. When we look at the testing, we get down into the data and we get down into the specifics, and we're definitely from grade to grade and whatnot. We dial it in and we make sure that we have the right teachers teaching the right courses and keeping up with the standards and everything else. And we really dig into that, but we really also focus on outcomes. And when you look at our school system, and we're proud to say we're a very diverse school system from a lot of different ways you can look at diversity. And we have a lot of different types of families and kids that come from different backgrounds and whatnot. And when you get a lot of kids that come to pre-K and kindergarten and they haven't had a whole lot of instruction with literacy and haven't been exposed to much literacy, when we have our teachers that take these kids and we have some kids that can read before they even get here, and we have everything in the middle. And when we take these kids and we our teachers and our administrators work with them all the way through the entire matriculation process, all the way from pre-K to 12th grade, and we look at the outcomes of where we're getting these kids to, graduating high school, getting them into four-year colleges, technical schools, the military, the job market with internships and whatnot. I just really think that our outcomes are really amazing. And I put our outcomes with our kids and where we take them, and they stick with us, and we take them all the way through. Our outcomes are second to none in the state of Georgia. When you really dial it in and you look at we're a perfect snapshot of what public education should be. We take all different types of kids from all different types of backgrounds. They come together as Trojans, and we really get them to where they need to be when they graduate from high school.
Those tests are from 3rd to 8th grade?
Well, and then you have end-of-course tests in high school.
In high school, okay.
You've got several end-of-course tests.
Because stats that I was looking for on those, I think I tried to focus on 8th grade testing just because I feel like that's a big step to go from 8th grade to high school, and you got different personalities. I mean, you're changing and things, and you might lose if you're somebody who has a potential, you might lose little interest in school at that point because you're chasing girls and other things or boys. But 8th grade, I think the math for 8th grade was significantly below the state average.
We had some different obstacles last year that we are correcting, and we are making sure that things are in place. We're also doubling back with some of those kids who didn't do as well, but they're rolling right into 9th grade, and we're going to get them where they need to be. And again, we've got a really strong plan in place, and I can assure you that those kids from last year, they're going to be doing very, very well, and we're going to be on top of it in high school, and then also, the new grade configuration, new school, middle school, new principal, good things to come.
I think when we compare those stats, I think it's easy to say, all right, this is what you guys did this year for 8th graders, and then you look at next year's stats, and okay, that's what we did for this year's 8th graders. But I think the important thing is to think of those 8th graders are going to be 9th graders this year, and they need to be. They're the ones who needed to improve on it.
Yes, sir.
But it will show you. I mean, if they make the same grades next year, the 8th graders too. I mean, that shows you that's you have a bigger problem. But
yes, sir. And the collaboration between schools. And talking about vertical alignment with making sure that we're tracking, handing off students and saying this is what they need, this is what they need to bring it up to the standard. And we really, like I said before, individualized personal instruction. We really try to stay on top of every kid coming through.
Dr. Mark Albertus, Carrollton City School Superintendent, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program. Time right now is 8:59. Stay tuned for national headlines And then Glenn Beck is on the air. Thanks for coming out, Doc.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck. And congratulations for being another year as a superintendent.
Well, thank you. We're going to have a great year. I appreciate your coverage.
Absolutely. Thanks to Joel and for running the cameras this morning. And thank you for listening to the Community Voice News Talk 1330 FM 106.3.